I'm Igor and this is the List Building Lifestyle, a podcast for those who want to build a large profitable email list and make six figures from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get rich by building a large email list while helping people, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to attend a free web class I'm conducting this week to find out how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers at a profit. Secure your free seat at igor.cx. Attend this free workshop to discover an easy way to get 50 to 500 new email leads per day on complete autopilot without losing tons of money. Just go to igor.cx to attend this free web class. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another episode of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor Kayfetz. Imagine two young men graduating from college and going out there to take on life. One of these young men is dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur, and the other settled for being an employee. What is the core difference? How come one of them will forever let someone else dictate their life, dictate their decisions? They will never be the master of their own time, and they will never be the master of their destiny, while another will eventually become successful regardless of the tools that they have, the finances they possess, or the challenges they're going to encounter. More than that, let me pose a different question. What is the key difference between two people that start out in the exact same spot, having the exact same tools, the exact same knowledge, access to the exact same mentors, and having the exact same dreams and goals? And then if you check in about 12 months later, one of these people is successful and the other is a failure. And they will remain that way for as long as we keep following them, because even if the successful person loses it all, they'll still recover very, very quickly. We've seen it time and time again. My special guest today is Mr. Anik Singal, a good friend of mine, and somebody who I've been following as a mentor and as a teacher since I started online about 10 years ago. In fact, one of Anik's products called the Launch Tree set me off for success by introducing me to concepts such as upselling, cross-selling, and really getting me to understand what a business needs to run like and what a hardcore kick-ass sales funnel needs to look like, which then became the foundation to my success. And so today, we're celebrating Anik's release of a brand new book called The Escape Book, where he spent a lot of time, money, effort, blood, sweat, and tears on finding out what are the core differences in behavior between the people who are successful online and people who are not. What are the key distinctions in the way people think, in what they say, and what they do that guarantees that the person will become a success regardless of their background, previous experience, knowledge, skill set, resources, and yada, 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 so on and so forth. So if you're interested in finding out exactly what makes a successful online entrepreneur, there's no one better to tell you more about that than my friend Anik Singal. Anik, thank you so much and welcome to the List Building Lifestyle.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute honor and a pleasure. Let's do this. I'm excited to talk about this topic because I think it'll make a key difference, a big difference in everyone who's listening.
Yes, absolutely. And I love how passionate you are about it. And, you really didn't have to do what you've done with the book. And this is where I want to really start. I mean, you went ahead and you researched exactly what makes the difference between successful online marketers and unsuccessful ones, even though many of us start in the exact same boat, if you will. We all start clueless. We all start not knowing what this, information marketing space is. We have very little knowledge or understanding about, the way internet works, and we have zero marketing experience when we get started. Yet there's a handful of us, people like you, people like me, who succeed in spite of having these challenges and these crazy turmoils along the way, while there's people out there who have everything that they would ever need to succeed, and yet they still fail. So before we get into the details about that, do you mind sharing exactly what inspired you to write this book?
No, absolutely. I'd love to. Listen, so everything I'm about to tell you is an absolute true story. And this is how I got inspired to write this book. So about 3 years ago, we had a student that came into our mix, and they came down. They spent a lot of money to get personal mentoring and teaching and coaching. And I just loved this student. I thought that they were going to be a radical success story. I put a lot of resources, a lot of things I don't typically do on a regular basis. And I had to bet on them. If I was in the casinos, I would have bet on them. I really thought they would make it. And I just, within a course of a few weeks, started to realize it wasn't going the way that it should have. And in the end, if you look a few months down the road, they were not successful. They were actually a handful. They were a total mess, and they quit. And at the same time, it just so happens to be we had a student engage with us around the same time as this student, but they didn't come in for the on-site coaching or any of that. They bought one of our programs, and I happened to learn about them through one of our Facebook groups. And you know what? In the same time, that few months, that person went on, started their first business, was super successful, quit their job, was already making six figures. It was incredible. And you would think I'd be super happy, but I wasn't. I was really bummed out. I actually literally couldn't sleep at night for a few weeks because I kept thinking, what the heck? I don't understand. Now, I've taught over 250,000 students in the last 15 years of my life, okay, all over the world. And these are 250,000 people who've paid me, not like free on my email list. They've paid me for learning, how to do online marketing. And what drove me nuts was, why don't I have 250,000 success stories? Why does a far majority of people who make this commitment, who put money down, who really agree to doing this, why do they have access to the same resources as the rest of everybody, but yet a certain percentage of them go on to become radical successes, in some cases even more successful than I am, whereas a large portion of them do not. And so that really drove me crazy. I was thinking about it, and the reason it drove me crazy was I kept telling myself, if I can solve this, if I can uncover the reason, I can fix it, I can solve it, I can create value, I can help all these people. And that was what led me into a journey of research, of interviewing, of talking to. I talked to my most successful students. I talked to my most unsuccessful students. I looked at my personal journey, my personal story as an entrepreneur. And then, of course, I went to the books. I started studying the top entrepreneurs in the world. And before you know it, I was amazed to see that there was a trend. I saw an actual trend emerge of characteristics, behavior patterns that were appearing in the successful ones, and that either weren't appearing or were appearing very differently in the unsuccessful ones. And I got excited because about a year and a half ago, I was like, I think I got it. And I started writing this book because I wanted to put what I learned into a book so that people could be empowered with it.
Wow. So what you're saying is you had a student that you were basically investing a lot of resources, knowledge. You gave him your quote unquote best secrets, just to paraphrase the sales letters we often write and create. So, and yet they were not successful. And then you had someone who barely got any attention from you, if at all. You didn't even know they existed until after they became successful and announced it in the Facebook group, and bam. Right, so they become a success. And this sparks this question that then drives you to figure out exactly what makes someone else a success. And, I've always, for years, I've posed the same question ever since I started coaching people, and I couldn't tell the difference. Like, there were people who I would just tell them one thing or something, or give them one video tutorial, then they would take it and run with it. And then there were people that were paying me literally tens of thousands of dollars that I spent FaceTime with, that we got on the phone every day, and nothing. So I am curious. Okay, now I'm curious. What is the difference, Anik?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. So you're absolutely right. And you know what? I have to tell this. So I have to go back and tell a little bit of, we'll start like once upon a time type of story to really understand the difference. It starts with the definition of entrepreneur. Literally, people have been defining an entrepreneur incorrectly now for, I think, decades and decades. An entrepreneur in many minds, in the many untrained minds, is somebody, it's defined by what they do. Right? An entrepreneur launches their own business. This is literally what Webster says. This is a definition. It's defining an entrepreneur by what they do. One of the key discoveries I had was an entrepreneur is least defined by what they do and most defined by who they are. Now, that might sound very hocus pocus and high level. I'm going to get to the specifics, but trust me right now, an entrepreneur doesn't just own their own business. They literally think different, act different, behave different. They eat different. They walk different. They sleep different. Everything about who they are is different. And that is actually what allows them to be successful. Because here's the thing, as we go through the formula, as we go through what we call the 4 stages of entrepreneurship, right, inside this book, we're going to learn that an entrepreneur is not trained. We're not taught to be entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not going to sit on this interview and rip on the educational system or be one and talk about all the conspiracy theories. That's not what this is about. Our systems that train us from the time we're born to when we become adults were created to serve a human society, and they have done so, and they have done so very well. We've excelled and we've accelerated as a human society. The problem is, over the last 2 decades, we have accelerated at a pace greater than any other time in history as a society, as our technical evolutions. Just look at the internet. Look at how we communicate with each other. Everything has changed. The system hasn't yet caught up to adapt to that. And so what's happening is we are all being trained and taught to be a certain way. We are then utilizing those tools and those assets to try to become an entrepreneur. It's basically like trying to hammer a nail with a screwdriver. That's what we're trying to do. And that's the main reason we're failing. So in these 4 stages is where I discovered exactly what it is that it takes. And I'll tell you right now, if you're listening to this, even if you are a successful entrepreneur, or if you're a successful online marketer, even if you're not a successful online marketer, I'm telling you this right now. There's a lot of evolution that you can have. You do need to decode. I say this specifically. You need to decode and then recode. It's not your fault. It's no one's fault. It's just that we've been taught to be and behave and act very differently. So, if you want, I can go into the 4 stages, and I think that'll lead to a lot of the aha moments for everybody.
Well, keep in mind, we have limited time, so
Sure.
I think we can tease them with a couple of stages, because at the end of the day, guys, if you're listening right now, I really want you to understand that you need this book, okay? So we're going to be giving you a free copy of the book later towards the end of the episode, and we're not going to be revealing everything, okay? You're going to go and read about it, but yeah, definitely, Anik, tell us, just at least give us a couple of tidbits, a couple of direction points. What exactly is the difference between somebody who's able to decode and recode themselves versus somebody who can't?
Sure. Okay, so I want everybody to just imagine this logo, the Escape logo, okay? It's a little e in all capital letters, SCAPE, okay? And there's a little arrow that goes from the little e to the big E, and that basically means going from employee to entrepreneur. There are 4 stages in the process of doing it. We're going to give a real quick crash course on all 4. Now, in the book, I go over 5 specific characteristics for each of the stages. So you actually have a chance to evaluate yourself, test yourself, score yourself, and then learn how to improve on each of the 5 within the 4. But we're going to go over the 4. So the first is S, self. Here's the best explanation I can give you of self. Imagine being a baseball player, damn good one, okay? 15 years, you've been MVP, you've played for the pro leagues, you're an awesome, awesome baseball player. One morning you wake up and decide, you know what, I'm a great athlete. So you know what I'm going to do? I want to play football.
Yo, it's Igor. If you're loving the content, hop on over to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com for more free training and a free transcript of this episode. Oh, and I'd really appreciate if you logged into iTunes and rated the show. It really helps. Thanks.
It's not going to work. Right? And that's how we are. We're in a system. A lot of people save money. They're very successful at their careers. And so one day they just wake up and say, you know what? I've been really successful. I've got the money finally saved away. I'm going to start a business. And that's not how it works. Listen, the self is the most important part. It's the base of the triangle. You've got to learn to think and act differently. You've been coded in a different direction. You've got to literally make decisions differently. All right? You've not been taught to do any of this. So we go over 5 characteristics in the S phase that will help you master, decode, and recode who you are so that you can actually evolve as an entrepreneur. The second stage is C, catapult. Now, catapult is really the same as creating momentum. What if I was to tell you there's actually laws of physics? Newton's laws of physics apply to success and succeeding as an online marketer. So, for example, imagine a car that is at a complete standstill, okay? And you put it in neutral and you need to push it. You need to get it moving. It's going to take 4 or 5 people pushing with all their might just to get the car to start moving. But once that car is moving, the tires are rolling, one person behind the car could keep it going. So momentum is not something we're taught to create. Why? We're taught do as you're told, right? So we go to a job. We don't think about the big picture. We don't think about the big goals. We're told our boss tells us do this, do this, do this, do this. So we are micro task driven, but we're not told to take big goals and break them down and own those goals and then drive forward from there. That's the big issue with internet marketing as well, with online marketing. Oh, I want to be a millionaire. Well, great. Have you even made $100 yet? Most people don't want to answer that question. You go make 100 first, then you make 1,000, then you make 10,000, you make 100,000, then you make $1 million. You've got to create it. You got to get that momentum going. Once you have momentum, everything else becomes so much easier. But we're not taught that. So we give you 5 characteristics in the book to help you evolve that, to help you build that, and to help you evaluate yourself on that. All right, let's go to the third stage. A, authority. So now I want you to imagine right now you walk into an elementary school anywhere in the world, okay? 3rd grade, 4th grade. How many kids are going to be in that class? Probably about 30, 40, 50. It's going to be in that 30 to 50 range. This is internationally. I've tested it. It's the same everywhere. So let's say 40 kids. How many kids are you going to have that are a class leader? 1. So that means 39 children are not getting an opportunity to learn leadership, to learn authority. Well, listen, as a successful entrepreneur, you dang well better be able to inspire people. You have to be able to get people to rally behind you. Now, I'm not asking you to be an inspirational leader in front of 40,000 people creating a revolution, but you got to be able to inspire your team, your vendors, your partners, your customers. And so we never learned that, but it is something that can be learned. It's just that the extroverted kids in class always take up all the opportunities while the majority just never get a chance to step up. So this is something that, again, 5 characteristics specific in the A stage where we really teach you how to fine tune and hone that skill. You don't have to be brilliant at it. You don't have to give big speeches and lectures, but you do need to be able to lead and inspire. Last but not least, the final frontier, stage 4, the toughest one, but the most influential, most impactful one, which is P for people. Listen, we are taught horrible things about communication, relationships, and people throughout our upbringing. First of all, most people go around, being the same way. A lot of people literally engage in every communication with every person the same way. And that's a challenge. That's a problem. Entrepreneurs don't. Entrepreneurs are like chameleons. I can talk to one person and evolve into someone that would relate to them, and immediately 2 minutes later be talking to another person and evolve and change into what would be. I'm individualistic when it comes to relationships. I don't believe in negative people. I don't kick negative people out of my life. I take ownership of those relationships and turn them positive, right? So there's a lot of teachings that we've had from the personal development industry that are totally incorrect, and we go over them in the P stage, 5 characteristics to help you evolve and master this final frontier. And then last, of course, is when you make it to entrepreneurial success, or when you make it as an online marketer. Now, I'm telling you right now, you can have the best system in your hands. You can have the best software in your hands. You can have the best training, the best coach. But if you don't have these 4 stages down, you will be building a house of cards at best. It will come collapsing down. I did, and mine came collapsing down, left me $1.7 million in debt. So when I mastered these 4, though, and came back, now I'm kicking butt, and it would be nearly impossible to stop me because I've got the core characteristics down.
Awesome. So I wrote down 4. It's self, catapult, authority, and people, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Self, catapult, authority of people. Yes.
And I particularly like the last 2, to be honest with you. The first, the authority, right? Because I can totally relate to the fact that I was never given an opportunity to be a leader in my school growing up, although I really, really wanted to. Like, I've had it in me. I never settled for being a follower, but I was always kind of kicked into that position and couldn't find my way out there. And the last one, of course, I love what you said about relationships, where you said you take ownership of the bad relationships in your life and you turn them positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, here's the thing. You go to a personal development seminar, they literally say, you can see the speaker on stage, anyone who's negative in your life, kick them out, remove them. Well, let me give you an example. When I was first starting my business and basically not paying attention to college, my father was really negative. Okay, when I was launching this beautiful Learn Center facility that I'm currently sitting in that we built for entrepreneurs, 26,000 square feet, it cost me $3.5 million. My mother was negative. My now wife, back then she was my girlfriend. When I told her I'm $1.7 million in debt and I'm starting another business to come back, she was negative. Most people that are negative in your life are that because they care and love you. They're trying to protect you. Their negativity is simply a reflection of them not understanding what it is you're trying to do. They can't see themselves doing it, so they want to protect you from it. That's most of the time. You're going to find that only about 3% of the people in your life are actually what I call toxic. Toxic people are literally, their goal is to bring you down. Those people need to be kicked out, no problem. But most negative people are probably the ones that are the closest to you, that love you the most. So you have to learn to perceive their negativity for what it truly is and take control of that relationship. So you treat everyone differently. If something triggers someone to become a negative person, don't give them that trigger. Communicate with them differently about different things, but allow them to be a positive influence in your life. So this is literally one of the core things I've seen every successful entrepreneur master. And we teach you how to do it. You literally can get exercises and you get instructions on how to do that in this book.
Wow. Anik, let me ask you something. So, as an author, what was the part of the book that you worked on that you feel the most proud of?
I got to tell you, it was definitely stage 3 and 4, which you brought up and made me smile because, and I'll tell you why. It's probably a little bit selfish, but it's just because these are the two stages that I'm currently in the most, right? As I build and scale my companies, I mean, I have 6 businesses online, collectively doing over $35 million in revenue. Next year, we're projecting to cross probably 60, if not maybe 70 million between all the companies together. That's a lot. That gives me access to a heck of a lot of team members, a lot of ideas, a lot of execution, a lot of failures, a lot of obstacles, a lot of challenges. I'm getting all of it. And I'm telling you right now that this is where I'm making the biggest impact, is by honing and fine tuning my ability to lead, my ability to inspire, my ability to lead by example, which is stage 3. And then last but not least, man, right now, the biggest evolution I'm having in my life is the people that I'm bringing in, whether it be in my personal life, my professional life. I am so aware of what influences I'm bringing into my life. And the better I get at this, by the way, the wealthier I'm getting. So I would say if I had to pick just one, Stage 4 was where I really put my heart and soul, where I felt like this is the one that once people get to it, it will make the deepest impact in someone's life for the rest of their life.
Awesome. I'm really dying to put this book into as many hands as I can. And the good news is that, guys, you can have the Escape book for free. Anik is actually going to ship it to your doorstep for free. And all you have to do is just go to igorsolowitz.com/Anik, ANIK. All right. And you'll get a free copy of the Escape book, where you're going to learn the 4 stages, okay, of the entrepreneurial journey of how to go from employee to entrepreneur. And you're going to find out what are the key differences that make the distinction for the people who are always successful. Just like you've heard, Anik built a huge business, lost it all, was $7 million in debt, built it back up, and now he's making 5 times as much money as he was in debt, right? So 35 million a year. Crazy growth, exponential growth, actually. So if you're one of those people listening right now, if you're one of those who's always struggling, if you've been going from product to product and not succeeding, if you've tried a method after method, this is a book for you, for sure. And you can have it for free, which is really, really cool. Thank you, Anik, for that. So guys, you need to go
Igor,
to... Sure.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to clarify something for everybody, that the book is absolutely free, but there is a tiny shipping and handling that we ask everyone to kind of cover. It's just a little bit of you showing your skin in the game. To be honest with you, if you're international, if you're outside the United States, we actually have to spend way more on shipping than what we ask you to cover. Right now, we're just asking you to cover a tiny $7.97 for the shipping. Any cost above that, it's on me. I pay for it. And again, go to igorsolowitz.com/Anik. We are running out of copies, though. Our first print is literally, we don't have many left.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. So guys, if you want to grab a free copy of the new book, the Escape book, you need to go to igorsolowitz.com/Anik, cover the small shipping handling fee, and I can totally, confirm regarding the whole international stuff, because we got some things that are going out to our VIP members. Wow, international is just annoying. Not only it takes 2 weeks to get there, but it's also costing 3 times as much. So it's just crazy.
Yeah, and anyone who's international, just FYI, yes, you will have to wait 2 to 3 weeks for the book to reach you. I have no control over that. There's nothing I can do. But here's the cool thing: when you cover the tiny shipping and handling costs, we give you instant online access to the entire book at no cost. So right now, you could be reading in the next 30 seconds. So you can start reading it online in our interactive digital classroom, and then in the meantime, the book is being shipped to you, and it'll reach you very soon.
All right. So all of you book lovers, all of you success lovers, all of you who are dying to find that path to success, go to igorsolowitz.com/Anik, grab a free copy of the Escape book. Anik, thank you so much for spending some time with us here. Thank you so much for educating us about your new book and about what makes the difference between successful people and those who are not quite successful. We wish you all the best, and we hope that this becomes an internationally renowned bestseller.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to be here. Congratulations to everybody for following Igor, by the way. What a great service he does to this whole community. So thank you for what you do. And to everybody, I just always leave off by saying, listen, when life pushes you, stand straight, smile, and push it the heck back. Go to igorsolowitz.com/Anik, ANIK, and grab your free copy of this book. I can't wait to ship it to you. Can't wait to get your feedback, and I can't wait for it to impact and change your life.
You've heard them, folks. So this is Igor and Anik. And until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to previous episodes, the transcript of today's show, and exclusive content at our website at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, don't forget to claim your free seat at the traffic workshop I'm conducting this week, where I'm showing how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers without losing money, and how my clients are putting anywhere from 50 to 500 new leads per day on their list at a profit without any list building experience. Just go to igor.cx to claim your free seat now.